Canon just filed a patent infringement lawsuit with Amazon. What's going on and what does this mean for us? Stick around for the details after this short break. But first, please do me a favor. Follow me on Twitter, but most importantly, please subscribe to this channel. It doesn't cost you anything and it really helps this channel grow. And thanks to your support, this video is likely to cross that 40,000 subscriber mark. Canon USA and its parent company, Canon of Japan, Amazon.com, and Amazon Services, LLC, jointly filed a lawsuit in U.S. District Court against 29 selling accounts, which sold camera batteries and chargers in the Amazon store, alleging infringement on Canon's trademarks and rights. And as we saw with Canon's enforcement of their intellectual property rights with those third-party lens manufacturers, Canon aggressively pursues counterfeiters in the United States and around the world to protect its customers from fake and potentially unsafe products. That's awesome. I love it when a company's looking out for my best interests, as so many aren't. You see, publicly traded companies are always looking out for their bottom line, their shareholders, and our interests usually are at the bottom of the list. And I am being a little bit facetious here. I do believe that this is not about protecting us as much, although when it comes to batteries and battery chargers, some third-party makers of batteries, well, they do pose a serious risk, and lithium-ion batteries, if are breached, well, they can spontaneously explode, they can combust, and, well, not only destroy their equipment, but if they're in your pockets or in a plane, well, the results can be not good. We don't have a whole lot of details here in terms of what type of sellers they're targeting and what type of goods they are. Now, if these are truly counterfeit, and that's where a company will make batteries, make them look identical to Canon, have the exact same technical specifications, and then you find out that, well, they're poorly made and subject to, well, shutting the camera off at a certain amount of time, or worse, catching fire, destroying products, causing damage, and of course, not only damage to your camera and your equipment, but also to Canon's reputation. And that, I think, is a very, well, it's a critical business concern for Canon. So Canon has teamed up with Amazon here. It's not that they're suing Amazon, and that's rather interesting. If we take a closer look at the news release, they go on to say that sales of counterfeit goods on e-commerce websites are increasing in proportion to the growth of e-commerce markets. Canon and Amazon are collaborating in fighting against counterfeiters, protecting both of our customers. The joint lawsuit, and that's key here, joint lawsuit, was filed as part of our collaboration. So this is definitely different. This is not what happened last year when Canon protected their intellectual property by basically banning any third-party lens manufacturers from producing RF lenses with autofocus without Canon's permission. This is all about counterfeiting. This is all about producing poor quality products. At least that's what we're led to believe from the terms of the press release. And if this, on the surface, is what they're after, well, this is a good thing. What's really frustrating to me is some of the goods that are on Amazon. I'm always asking myself, well, if it's a storage card, for example, the storage card that I have in here, is it actually an Angelbird? Is it actually a SanDisk or a ProGrade, or is it a counterfeit? And you can't always tell. The packaging is getting better and better. In fact, the cards are looking better and better, and the only way to tell is to take that card, to plug it into a computer, and to use some sort of software like FX Write to write to every block to see if you're actually getting the true capacity. Batteries, counterfeit batteries, well, the situation's even worse. See, with counterfeit storage cards, you lose your information, you lose your content, and I'm not downplaying that. That is, well, a bad thing. But to not only lose your content, but to also have your camera catch fire, combust, and lose your gear as well, that's a bad thing. I personally myself, I use only Canon batteries, but before I started this channel, quite often I used, well, third-party batteries. And I didn't go with the cheapest ones. I got some decent ones because for me at the time, spending $100 or $90 or $120 on an LP-E6 battery just was not affordable to me. But now, as a professional, as somebody who needs to get as much battery life as I can, or as much record time as I can out of a battery, yes, I choose I choose Canon's OEM batteries. But that should be a choice. You should be able to buy third-party products without risk of them failing on you. And counterfeit products, I'm not a big fan of them. I have no problem supporting third-party products, but counterfeit products, they are definitely a threat to all of us. But again, this is a press release and it's put out by Canon and Amazon jointly, so I'm really curious to see what's going to fall out with this lawsuit, how it's going to change, how it's going to morph. Online purchasing of products over the years has become a little bit more, well, risque. I now buy my memory cards directly from the manufacturer, Angelbird, and when it comes to batteries, I do the same. Yes, there is a little bit more of a price, but when you risk losing your content, when you risk losing your gear, I'm not going to buy from anybody that isn't credible. And the problems with buying from Amazon is that when you purchase, let's say, a SanDisk 128 gigabyte card, while it might say it's coming from a certain company, a lot of that stuff that comes in goes into one bin. And so it might be, even though you're getting it sourced from Amazon, it could be coming from multiple different suppliers. And that's why when you look at the reviews, you'll see a lot of people saying, works great, yep, it's got the capacity, here's my speed rating. And then others will say, no, it's definitely a fake. And sometimes you're left wondering, well, wait a minute, are these people just fake reviews? And yes, some are, but in some cases it's because they're getting products that are sourced from different suppliers coming into the same bin. And as a content creator, it's frustrating because it used to be when online sales first started, you looked at, wow, this is the best price on SanDisk, I'm going to buy it, and you got a great deal. Today, if you see a really good deal, you're kind of going, I don't know, is this real? Is this some sort of counterfeit product? It's hard to say. So if this is truly about going after counterfeit products such as batteries, yeah, I'm a big fan of that, because the last thing we want is some poor unsuspecting bugger buying some batteries thinking they're coming from Canon because they've got the Canon logo on it, like this one here. It's got the stamp, and the newer ones have a little bit of a hologram right on top here. But finding out it's a fake, it doesn't give you the charge you need, and you're at risk to combustion. Yeah, that's not a good thing and doesn't help any of us. But what do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below whether you think this is a way of Canon protecting their revenue, or if you really think that this is going to be a benefit to us as customers. From what I see based off of the press release, it does seem on face to be something that can benefit us. But as always, the devil is always in the details. And if you want to stay up to date on all the latest camera news and rumors, well then go ahead and subscribe and make sure you choose all notifications. And for all those minor news and rumors, or for really great sales on different products, well then go ahead and follow me on Twitter right here. All those news and rumor items or sales that aren't quite big enough to have their own separate video, well, I tweet them out on a regular basis. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great week. Yesterday was a very interesting day because we got the Nikon Z8. And thank you everybody for watching me on that channel, and for all my guests for showing up. And a special thanks to Nikon Canada for joining me as well. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon.